Let's dive into something really cool today. Our oldest stories, our myths. We're going to tackle this fascinating question. What happens when these ancient, powerful tales get a 21st century reboot?
You know, we all kind of have this picture in our heads, right? Myths feel like they belong to another time. They're stuck in these old, spooky forests or living in ancient trees, totally separate from our world of smartphones and traffic jams.
But here's the twist, and this is the idea that changes absolutely everything. Myths aren't dead. They've just moved. They've packed their bags and found new places to live. In our cities, on our screens, and right inside our modern anxieties.
And this whole process, this moving day for myths, it's not just some fun little creative project. Nope, it's actually an act of survival for these stories. It's how they stay relevant and keep speaking to us, generation after generation.
This new world they're moving into, this whole scene of adapting and mashing things up, it actually has a name. We call it remix culture. It's just part of our hyper-connected world, where everything is basically raw material for the next new thing. Honestly, it's the creative air we breathe now.
And this is where things get really interesting. We start seeing those ancient figures, the guardians, the tricksters, the monsters, get a major modern makeover. Think about graphic novels that pull these supernatural beings out of the mountains and drop them right into our crowded city streets.
Seriously, just picture for a second. Some legendary creature from folklore swiping their transit card and squeezing into the same crowded train as you on your morning commute. That single image, it just instantly makes the myth feel real, right here and now. That's a myth changing its address.
But okay, modernizing these stories isn't just about changing the scenery. It's about updating the meaning. By putting these old characters into our world, we can actually use them as a powerful lens to look at the very specific problems we're dealing with today.
So really think about that for a second. How can a spirit or a monster that's centuries old have something important to say about our 21st century lives, about our tech, our politics, or what we're doing to the planet?
Let's make this concrete. Okay, take a character like Maria McKilling. Originally, she was a guardian of nature, a spirit of the mountain. But what has she become today? Maybe she's an eco-terrorist fighting illegal mining. Or, get this, what if she's a rogue AI protecting a giant digital server, which is kind of like our new sacred mountain, right? The story suddenly shifts from a simple folktale to some really powerful social commentary.
And that brings us to another huge idea. In this digital age, how you tell a story can be just as important as the story itself. The platform, the medium, it becomes part of the message.
There's a term for this. It's called emergent literature, and it's all about playing with new ways to tell a story. We are not stuck with just books or campfires anymore. We can tell these ancient tales using the tools we use every single day. Social media, text messages, video feeds, you name it.
Just imagine this. The terrifying legend of a creature that splits in half at night to prey on people. But instead of hearing it as a ghost story from your grandparents, you watch it all go down, in real time, through the panicked, terrified messages in a leaked group chat. The whole feeling of horror just completely changes.
I mean, look at this. It's so familiar, so modern, and so creepy. The suspense isn't coming from some narrator describing what's happening. It's in the timestamps, the 3 little dots of someone typing, and the slow, dawning horror of the friends in that chat. The myth becomes this immediate, digital age mystery.
Okay, so I know what some of you might be thinking. If we're changing these stories, aren't we disrespecting them? Aren't we kind of erasing our own history? And that's a fair question, but that's not what this is about at all.
This whole thing isn't about forgetting the past or trying to replace the original stories. You can think of it more like adding new layers, Starting new conversations with our heritage and just looking at it through a fresh, modern lens.
Actually, doing this is the ultimate sign of respect. We're showing that these myths aren't some fragile things you have to keep in a glass box. They are so strong, so powerful, so flexible that they can adapt and thrive no matter what future we throw at them.
That's the key right there. They are not artifacts in a museum. They are living templates waiting for you to retell them. They're basically open source code for storytelling, just waiting for a new generation of creators to come along and build the next version.
So, after all that, the spotlight kind of swings around. This challenge isn't just for famous writers or filmmakers. It's for anybody who loves these stories. It's for you.
And that's what it all comes down to. This one last question. I want you to look at the world around you.
Look at your own fears, your community's biggest problems, the stuff that keeps you up at night. Who is your monster today? What ancient story can you grab and retell to help all of us understand the world we're living in right now? The next chapter, that's yours to write.